This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, up to Tuesday. That's all, 28th day of November. I'm Ray Collins. Glad you're with us. 5 o'clock now. Hello, early risers. John Scalzi joins us now with more of a beautiful weather pattern right now, John.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. In fact, you may have noticed it's a little bit warmer this morning as you head out the door. Or if you are about to head out the door, trust me, it is a little bit warmer out there. We're looking at about a 5 to 7 degree temperature difference between this time and 24 hours ago. And that'll be the case, I think, this afternoon as well. A little bit of warmer temperature coming our way. A little bit of high cloudiness from time to time due to that trough low pressure that still exists along the Florida Straits and out in the Gulf waters. But again, like yesterday, will not bring us any rainfall. Southern tip of the state may see a few showers, as evidenced here on radar currently, but I don't think we'll see much of anything today, except some sunshine, some high clouds, and a little bit warmer temperatures in the afternoon, breaking the 80-degree mark today. Right?
All right, John. Talk to you again soon about that weather. 301 northbound, some slowdowns around 38th Avenue, also Cortez as you approach 14th Street West. Farther south into Lakewood Ranch, some congestion there as you get through the diverging Diamond, Bee Ridge, and the eastbound lane around McIntosh. On the South County map, we'll check that now and see a little slowdown there in the southbound lane as you approach the sharp left turn as you head toward Warm Mineral Springs. 5:02 right now. Topping our news, a late-night crash left a pedestrian with serious injuries in Sarasota. Police are investigating the crash at 30th Street and US 301. First responders rushed the victim to the hospital. Traffic was blocked for a short time on 301, but has since reopened. A head-on crash between two vehicles shut down a portion of 75th Street West near 3rd Avenue in Bradenton yesterday. A viewer sent us this video of the scene after the crash. A large black SUV and a white utility van collided head-on just north of Manatee Avenue. At least 2 people were injured in the crash. The collision happened in front of a medical center. Doctors were on the scene assisting those who were injured. Health experts in Manatee County have agreed to take a closer look at some former Bayshore High School students who claim higher cancer rates were caused by tainted soil around their high school campus. Our Rick Adams has the latest.
Well, this does continue to be a very serious issue, and officials are now digging deeper for some answers. Questions still remain over whether there was a cancer cluster surrounding one high school in Bradenton. On Monday, the Manatee County Health Department announced a health study where they will be collecting data from former students of Bayshore High School.
What we're looking to do is find students and faculty and staff who have been diagnosed with cancer so they can report back to a database where we can actually start to compare that with the state's cancer database.
Some say there could be hundreds of cancer cases connected to the old Bayshore High School, possibly from contaminated water. Cheryl Joza, a graduate of the high school, has spearheaded an effort to get some answers on this issue.
My sister died of leukemia in 1999, and in 2004, a classmate of hers also died of leukemia. And in 2004, that's when we started thinking something is wrong.
John Rehill, a former reporter for the Bradenton Times, says he first started writing about this possible cancer cluster issue a few years ago. He tells us this is a huge problem that needs to be tackled.
It's so important because there's 150 people that have died. There's 500 people that are suffering.
Rehill says there are many more people who also have been affected by this in the neighborhoods close by. For former Bayshore High School students, faculty, and staff who have had health issues, they are encouraged to go to the Manatee County Health Department website to fill out the special form connected to the study.
It's critical. We're obviously deeply concerned about what's going on with the health of all of our community, and especially when there's a concern like this that comes to our attention. So what we're trying to do is trying to see if there is a correlation. So we want to make sure we have a good data set.
And the study will go on for the next several months, with the findings expected to be released sometime next fall. Reporting from Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
New information now about the disappearance of 14-year-old Jabaz Spann in Sarasota. Police are now saying the boy witnessed a murder in the days before his disappearance last September. Police reports say they are indeed 2 separate cases, but Spann may have seen 33-year-old Travis Combs get shot and killed last August. The boy's grandmother says he might have seen too much.
I believe he was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
A reward of $25,000 is being offered for information on Spann's whereabouts. A spot check of area gas pumps turned up a skimmer at a station in Port Charlotte. State officials found this device at the Marathon station near US 41 and Port Charlotte Boulevard. So to avoid being skimmed yourself, use a credit card, not a debit card. Better yet, use cash or gift cards to safeguard your money. And also use the pump closest to the store where it's less likely the bad guys hooked up a skimmer. There are also apps you can download, such as Skimmer Scammer, that can detect if a pump has been compromised. Manatee County officials say that Hurricane Irma debris should be completed and collected by December 18th. The collection of debris on private roads took longer than expected due to the Board of County Commissioners having to grant special approval to remove it. Residents need to make sure they comply with the proper guidelines for debris collection. A former YMCA employee in Venice is charged with stealing thousands of dollars from the WISE child care program. 27-year-old Samantha Banting was hired as the child care director 4 years ago. Y officials say they found numerous problems in the internal audit they conducted for child care transactions. Investigators say more than $17,000 was unaccounted for from the child care funds. Banting never reported any missing money. Well, a week before the Venice Holiday Boat Parade, organizers are asking for more boaters to take part. Each year they struggle to get enough boats to sign up, and then at the last minute it all comes together. They're hoping the same thing happens this year. And it's not just about boats. The money made from the parade benefits local nonprofits like the Venice Youth Boating Association.
Irma took off half our roof, so we're still doing a little bit of recovery on that aspect of things. But it's definitely a way for every bit to count, and we definitely appreciate it.
The deadline to sign up to be in the boat parade is tomorrow. There is a fee, but that fee goes back to nonprofits. The period for public input is now over for the City of Sarasota's Climate Adaptation Plan. Planners are trying to figure out what the area's most prone areas are for storm surge, flooding, and sea level changes. The city is putting together what's called a Climate Adaptation Plan. The city's infrastructure and its vulnerabilities are being analyzed.
So all of these things have to be looked at and strategies identified and implemented to be upgraded over time to make us, more resilient to these changes we're seeing.
Plans will be submitted to commissioners on Monday, and the city will adopt a final draft in January. A busy intersection in downtown Sarasota will be closed today and closed for a while. Construction begins today to turn Orange and Ring Lane into another roundabout. The city believes the roundabout will improve traffic flow along with driver and pedestrian safety. The city has converted a number of intersections into roundabouts over the past 7 years, including on Main Street at 5 Points and Main and Orange. Construction now at Orange and Ring Lane will take the next few months. Florida taxpayers have paid more than $11 million in the past 30 years to settle sexual harassment cases. This includes more than 300 cases involving allegations of sexual harassment or a hostile work environment. The state CFO released a report detailing payments that go back as far as 1987. They range from a $5,500 payment to a university scholarship student to a $1.3 million payment to settle a class action lawsuit filed by nurses at state prisons. The report does not include $47,000 paid to a legislative analyst to keep her from filing a lawsuit against a powerful state lawmaker. That case never went to court. People across the state are challenging their school districts by trying to get books banned. The sudden rise in protest comes after a new bill passed earlier this year that states any person, regardless if they have a student or not in school, can now challenge the material taught in the school district. The Associated Press recently sent public records requests to Florida's school districts seeking any complaints filed this year. 7 districts reported receiving at least one. Well, good news in Manatee County. Overall crime is down for the first half of the year. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement's semi-annual crime report shows it dropped nearly 14% in the first 6 months. About 4,200 crimes were reported, like murders, robberies, aggravated assaults, and burglaries. That's still about 700 less than last year. The report also shows there was a decrease in murders in the first 6 months, but they have seen a rise since in the county. Sarasota County also saw almost 5% crime rate decrease.
Walk on Main Street, walk down by the bayfront at night, going to restaurants and going out and just enjoying the beautiful weather. And yeah, I feel safe.
Sarasota saw decreases in all crimes except for rape and robbery. Manatee County commissioners will discuss a plan to buy the premier sports campus in Lakewood Ranch today. The Manatee County Convention and Visitors Bureau Executive Director will present his plan to acquire the 127-acre property. The proposal includes an additional 36 acres that could be added to the property for a future aquatics facility. So under the plan, Manatee County would continue to operate the Premier as an elite sports venue, hiring or contracting with existing Premier staff to run the facility, and the CVB would manage the programming of all sports fields. Commissioners will have until December 7th to finalize the deal so they can accommodate a closing before the year's end. Lakewood Ranch developer Schroeder Manatee initially approached Manatee County about buying the campus. The cost is a little over $5 million. A changing of the guard today in Venice. The city will swear in 2 new council members. Mitzi Fiedler and Chuck Newsom will take the oath at today's morning meeting. It happens at 8:30 a.m. at City Hall at the start of the council meeting. The Turning Points Manatee is hosting their Home is Where the Heart Is fundraising dinner tonight. The benefit will help raise operating funds needed to help keep up with the demand for their services, ranging from basic needs like showers and haircuts to rental assistance or even medical care. If you want to help the community and have fewer homeless in the streets this season, head over to IMG's Academy Golf Club tonight at 6 p.m. on Elkhorn Parkway in Bradenton. Sounds like a good cause right there. Nice day yesterday. I went out to the IMG to watch some great tennis on the campus there. Great day for tennis. Beautiful day.
Some good players, I bet?
Yeah, some of the nation's best players, world's best players, are competing all this week through Sundays. $5 to park, that's it.
That's not bad.
Yeah, good deal.
Yeah, and the weather should cooperate, looks like. I mean, yesterday was gorgeous. Today might be a little bit warmer. I don't know how that affects play, but yeah,
it's not too bad.
Not too bad, yeah. Should be nice. We're looking at rain-free skies, that's for sure. Talk about that forecast in a second.
Also, first alert traffic and a look at the tax reform and whether it has enough votes to pass this week. And also some controversy over a comment made by President Trump. We'll tell you what he said at 5:33.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-683-9262.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less. and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So if you take a look at the boards this morning, you'll notice that the dew point value is at 60. Yesterday, it was in the low 50s. So we're up about 7 degrees on the dew point value, the amount of moisture that's in the air. And where goes the dew point? So too follows the morning low temperature. And we're at 62 right now, significantly warmer than we were 24 hours ago. East-northeast wind comes in at about 8. I don't think we'll see that dew point drop again until we probably get to the weekend. All week long, the rest of the work week anyway, we'll see those dew point values high enough to support these morning temperatures that will be in the 60s. So a little bit more comfortable perhaps for those of you who felt that yesterday's morning temperature was a little too cool. 61 degrees Myakka, Lakewood Ranch, Parrish, Bradenton the same. Sarasota 62, 64. Longboat Key 64. In Venice, Inglewood, Northport comes in at 62. We still have a little bit of high feathery clouds passing by from time to time today because of disturbance out in Gulf waters and moving through the Florida Straits, but none of that's going to produce any rainfall for us. We're still under the influence of this big ridge of high pressure, which will provide us with this easterly wind flow. That easterly wind tends to bring the humidity back from the Atlantic, crossing the Florida Peninsula into our neck of the woods. Trough of low pressure exists to the north of us. That's really not producing a whole lot of weather. High pressure is really the dominant feature over much of the country. Pacific Northwest still getting rained on with another low pressure area approaching. For us, the easterly wind sometimes tends to bring a shower or two to the East Coast, and I think that'll be the case again today. East coast of Florida gets a chance at seeing a few scattered showers. They tend to fall apart as soon as they move over land, so our chance of seeing any rainfall today is pretty low. Now, as we continue to moisten the atmosphere, these showers could inch closer and closer to us so that inland communities of Hardy and DeSoto and inland Charlotte may see a brief passing sprinkle over the course of the next several days. I wouldn't be surprised by that. But along the coastline, I think we'll stay fairly dry. Warmer today by a few degrees, increasing humidity, and we pretty much stay dry for the remainder of the week. Here's your forecast. Looks pretty good, actually, for beach and boating. A northeast wind at about 5 to 10, increasing to 10 this evening, and then to 15 overnight. Expect a moderate chop. The forecast for the 7 days ahead calls for temperatures in the 80s each and every day through Friday. Then another front moves through, and on Saturday and Sunday, we'll lower our temperatures a little bit and drop the humidity a little bit. No rain in the forecast in that 7-day period. Back to you.
All right, very good. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic right now. 301, some buildup there as you head past Samoset toward downtown Bradenton. Otherwise pretty clear in Manatee County. Farther south, nothing much there. A little buildup there on Bee Ridge Road as you head toward the interstate past Cattleman. And then final map down there to the south will show us a little buildup southbound 41 as you head toward Woodmere. 518 now on your Tuesday morning. It is a pivotal week on Capitol Hill for tax reform. Republicans and the White House are trying to find the votes to score their first big win of the Trump presidency. But as Sunlen Serfati tells us, the votes might not be there yet.
President Trump and Senate Republicans pushing towards a pivotal vote on their tax bill this week.
We're going to get this done soon, get it to the president's desk, and the president is eagerly looking forward to signing it.
Huddling today at the White House as new problems over the bill are emerging. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office is out with a new analysis, predicting the bill would increase the deficit by $1.4 trillion over 10 years. And removing Obamacare's individual mandate, now included in the bill, would decrease the number of people without health insurance by 4 million in 2019 and 13 million over the next decade. Republican leaders dismissing the report.
I don't think they're right.
As Democrats are pouncing, seizing on the CBO's prediction that the tax plan would give more cuts and benefits to Americans earning more than $100,000 a year than was originally thought.
The tax breaks for the wealthiest people are permanent. That's just unfair, and that's why half of the American people are skeptical about this Trump tax plan.
But it's not just Democrats. Many rank-and-file Republicans remain skeptical, too. A whole handful of Republican senators are still undecided, with concerns over everything from the fast-paced legislative process to repealing the individual mandate and the potential effect on the debt and deficit.
I want to make sure that we have a built-in process to be able to, if the numbers don't come in correctly, to make sure that we do actually provide a way to be able to guard us against debt and deficit. That's currently not in there.
Republican leaders are now looking at specific changes they can make to woo individual senators, scrambling behind the scenes to shore up the votes they need, painting it as do or die.
Failure is not an option when it comes to the Republican Party and cutting taxes. To every Republican senator, the fate of the party's in our hands, as well as that of the economy.
One headache alleviated today, Senator Rand Paul announcing he will support the bill, saying the bill is not perfect, but I've fought for and received major changes for the better, and I plan to vote for this bill as it stands right now.
Stay tuned. That vote is this week on Capitol Hill. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, a final tally on Cyber Monday spending will tell you how much online shoppers actually spent. And next half hour, a New York ferry runs into some unexpected problems. We'll tell you what happened. Those stories and more when we come back.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value and great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
There's a beautiful shot. Looks like a fake little Hollywood graphic. It's so pretty right there. Look at the beautiful skyline all lit up so nicely as we start to pan across the horizon looking at downtown Sarasota over the Rosemary District from our tower camera's perspective, high above our studio here on 10th Street. Should be a nice day. John Scalzi's forecast about 5 minutes away. There's how you can write to us. I'm at Ray Collins, ABC 7 on Facebook. John Scalzi as well. We both upload content every day. And by the way, I've been told I can announce that we will have our new co-anchor in place Monday. So you'll meet her on Monday. Excitement building. Also, if you want to upgrade the app on your phone, we have got an update now. So go to the App Store and look for the WWSB or My Suncoast options, and then get breaking news delivered right to your cell phone. 5:25 right now. The numbers are in. Cyber Monday was the largest online shopping day in U.S. history. ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have the story.
In today's Tech Bites, the online shopping boom on Cyber Monday.
Yeah, shoppers spent more than $6.5 billion. So that's $1 billion more than last year. The other big change, by the way, shopping by smartphone reached an all-time high this year. 40% of shoppers used their phone to search or buy items. Tablets are no longer topping holiday wish list. A CNET survey finds that for the first time since 2013, tablets are behind smartphones.
35% of people are wishing for a smartphone compared to 32% who want a tablet.
And scientists at Harvard and MIT have built an artificial muscle that can lift 1,000 times its own weight.
The design promises to revolutionize robotics, giving them super strength with dexterity.
Yeah, the technology has potential to be used everywhere from inside our bodies to outer space. Do you even lift, bro? Guess so. Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Fruit of the Loom. When you've crossed Fruit of the Loom off your list, you know your holiday shopping is complete. It's time to celebrate.
Celebrate! Holiday! Some time to celebrate. Just one day out of life. It would be so nice to celebrate.
The in-laws have moved in with us.
And our adult children are here.
So we save by using Tide.
Which means we use less.
3 generations of clothes cleaned in 1 wash.
Your mom's.
Anybody see my pants?
Nothing cleans better.
Put those on, Dad.
It's gotta be Tide.
Just press clean and Roomba from iRobot gets to work, using 2 multi-surface brushes and power-lifting suction to grab and remove everything from fine dust to large debris. Daily dirt doesn't stand a chance. You and Roomba from iRobot, better together.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
If you're between 50 and 85 years old, call the number on your screen right now for free information on how to save your family thousands of dollars. We're Family Love Plans, and we've been helping families just like yours for over 30 years. The average funeral today can cost up to $10,000 or more, but the most you'll get from government benefits is just $255. How will your family pay the difference? At Family Love Plans, we can help you and your family. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam and your plan can't be canceled. Better still, your rate will never go up and your benefits will never go down. Get your free information about our senior plans. Just answer a few simple questions and receive approval right over the phone.
Call 1-800-707-3608. That's 1-800-707-3608.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The ABC 7 First Alert Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information when severe weather threatens the Suncoast. Visit mysuncoast.com and download yours today.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, commuters in New York were delayed after the ferry got stuck. We'll tell you why. A volcano overseas causing evacuations, but not everybody wants to leave. And a Florida mall goes into lockdown. We'll tell you why. Those stories and more this half hour on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, 5:30 on this Tuesday morning. Glad you're awake already. I'm Ray Collins. Glad you're with us. John Scalzi is also with us, fortunately, and he's got details of kind of a carbon copy, a little warmer today, perhaps, John?
A little warmer, absolutely right, and a little more humid, too. I think you'll notice that in the afternoon. Next several afternoons will become noticeably a little bit more humid. Otherwise, the beat goes on with dry conditions and lots of sunshine and just a little bit of high cloudiness streaming by from time to time because of a disturbance out in the Gulf. Now, it's non-tropical. It's not a big deal. It'll eventually wash away, but it will provide us with a little bit of that high top cloud. Now, there is some rainfall down in the southern tip of the state, and if you are traveling to Miami, say today, or the Florida Keys heading out, well, you could see some sprinkles or some showers even down to the south of us. But locally, I don't think we have a whole lot of a rain chance today. Don't see it. High pressure continues to draw down dry air aloft, and that'll lead to lots of sunshine and a daytime high topping out slightly warmer than yesterday in the low 80s. Complete forecast coming up in a few. Ray?
Talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking First Alert traffic right now. You might see some slowdowns there on State Road 70 in the eastbound lane around 301. Otherwise, all clear in Manatee County. Farther south, a little buildup there on the Bayfront. Oh, just cleared up as I said that. That's magical. Otherwise, pretty clear in northern Sarasota County and South County. A couple buildups there around 41 in both directions between Woodmere and Venice. 5:32 now on your Tuesday morning. Our top story this half hour, some controversy over a comment made at a ceremony yesterday at the White House where the president was honoring Navajo veterans. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the story.
Today, President Trump's fight for his first major legislative victory.
You were here long before any of us were here.
Once again overshadowed by what many have called an offensive moment in front of a group of Native American war heroes.
Although we have a representative in Congress who they say was here a long time ago. They call her Pocahontas. But you know what? I like you.
Silence in the Oval, but the reaction outside loud and swift. Native American groups condemning the comment. Pocahontas, a racially charged insult the president uses to label a political foe.
It's Pocahontas Elizabeth Warren.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren came under fire in 2012 for claiming without proof to have Native American heritage.
I think what most people find offensive is Senator Warren lying about her heritage to advance her career.
President Trump couldn't even make it through a ceremony to honor these men without throwing in a racial slur.
The senator on CNN calling the president's words a distraction from his fight for tax reform. A new nonpartisan analysis found the Senate GOP tax plan would substantially benefit Americans making more than $100,000, but hurt the poor. The bill is expected to raise health insurance premiums and add $1.4 trillion to the deficit over the next decade. The president will head to Capitol Hill today to rally Republican senators. They're trying to pass their tax reform bill this week, but it's unclear if they have the votes. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
A federal judge ruled Monday the military must move forward with its policy allowing transgender recruits. The ruling clarifies an earlier decision that blocks President Trump's ban. There are two federal injunctions against Trump's order. An Obama-era order says transgender service members cannot be removed from service based on their gender identity. Back in July, President Trump tweeted that he would ban transgender people from serving in the military in any capacity. A New York City ferry became stuck on a submerged object, forcing passengers to evacuate. Shortly after 6 o'clock last night, the ferry pulled away from the pier and almost right away got hung up on something. The captain told 100 passengers to put on the life vests and prepare for evacuation. Police and fire loaded passengers onto their police boats for the trip back to shore. The ferry will likely be out of service for a short time with damage to the hull.
It was a slight hole in the hull, nothing major, nothing where the boat would sink. Right now we're pumping out some water that the boat had taken on.
As for those passengers, well, they were just glad to be rescued.
It was wonderful. Rescued at sea by the cutest police and firemen ever.
She's making the best of that one, huh? Had her eyes open. Thankfully, nobody was injured during this ordeal. An update now on that great white shark attack off Pebble Beach in Northern California. The victim underwent surgery and should make a full recovery. He was spearfishing with his father when a great white bit his right leg on Friday. 2 off-duty Monterey County Sheriff deputies jumped into action to help. Doctors say the shark bite missed his arteries and nerves, and they expect a full recovery.
I talked to the surgeon. Thinks they look good. The majority of the muscles are viable. Then when things they kind of cool down and reality sinks in, I realized that this is probably the best outcome I could imagine.
The father says the shark that attacked his son was about 15 feet long. Overseas, a volcano in danger of erupting is sparking a mass evacuation of thousands of residents and tourists in Bali. 60% of the 100,000 people ordered to evacuate are staying put, more than half. They are now going from door to door, though. It will be forcibly removed if need be. Anybody within a 6-mile radius of the volcano must brace for the possibility of an even bigger eruption. The city shut down the island's main airport, and now tens of thousands of tourists are scrambling to escape.
There's nobody for us to even ask questions.
When our flight got canceled at 10 o'clock last night, we went down and talked to them, and they told us that they weren't going to be able to help us.
With nearly 500 flights already canceled, travelers are now trying to get out by land or even by sea. Some visitors are taking a ferry to the nearby island of Java for an outbound flight. Back in Florida, the Gardens Mall in Palm Beach Garden went into lockdown after a gun transaction went wrong last night. 3 people used the mall's parking lot to meet over a gun purchase. Well, a fight broke out and 2 of them ran through the mall, one of them showing the gun. Those 2 have yet to be arrested. This is actually the 2nd time the mall has gone into lockdown in the past 10 days. A man fired his gun at in the mall's parking lot at another car 10 days ago. Arrests were made in that one. Proposed legislation would significantly increase homestead property tax exemptions for widows and widowers, along with blind and disabled Floridians. The bill would increase the current exemption for those groups from $500 a year to $5,000 a year. The exemption would average to about $150 real dollars in savings off the homeowner's property tax bill, up from about $15 right now.
This is a very vulnerable population. It's much more cost effective, besides obviously much better for people in their quality of life to remain in their home. And every little dollar that we can give them to help them remain in their home is very, very important.
An increase to the widow disabled property tax exemption will be the first one since 1916. And if passed, the increased exemptions would apply to tax year starting in 2019. So far, the bill has yet to be heard by a committee in the House or Senate. Military families here in Florida are getting free Christmas trees all the way from Michigan. Growers from across the state make the donations every year. About 700 trees were shipped out this time. Service members from all branches of the military came out to show their support at this annual event.
I have a special bond to as you say, my brothers and sisters of the armed forces. I consider myself still to be a soldier at heart, and so the bonds are very close, and we look out for each other.
And the trees all come from a farm in Michigan. The ABC 7 team is in the holiday spirit as well. We're partnering with the Salvation Army for our annual Angel Tree campaign. We're collecting holiday gifts for children and seniors in need on the Suncoast. You can pick up an Angel Tree tag at our station, and it will list the child or the senior's request for Christmas. Then pick up the gift and bring it back here unwrapped. We'll make sure the gift gets to the Salvation Army and distribute them to those in need. Well-oiled machine we have here. Nice annual campaign we have.
Yeah, it is. It is, and those cards are really well vetted too. So
yeah, true.
All legit. You know the people are legit and in need, and it's a nice thing.
Yeah.
We have some pleasant weather for you out there today. Looks like again low relative humidity, lots of sunshine. Forecast in a second.
Also, head first alert traffic, and we'll take a look at the food that can fill you up while you try to lose weight. That's up next in Health Smart.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA has recently warned about an increased risk of leg and foot amputations associated with the use of certain diabetic medications such as Invokana and Invokamet. If you or a loved one took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation, ketoacidosis, kidney failure, or even death, call the Rely On group now. We are here to help you get the justice you deserve. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-355-8205. That's 800-355-8205.
Glasses and contacts. You need them to see, but they put such a strain on your life, you miss precious moments. Due to new advances in vision improvement technology, LASIK is now affordable for almost everyone, with procedures starting as low as $299 per eye and over 1 million procedures performed by our trusted independent surgeons. LASIK surgery is a sensible, safe, and affordable solution to improve your vision. Our simple 3-step process begins with a free evaluation, followed by an extensive preoperative exam to determine if you're a candidate for LASIK eye surgery. Depending on the results of your evaluation and eye exam, you and your surgeon will choose the LASIK option that works best for you. So call now to talk to a LASIK Vision Institute counselor and schedule your free evaluation. That's a $100 value, free. Call the LASIK Vision Institute for your free evaluation and enjoy more of your life.
Call 1-800-813-0109. 1-800-813-0109.
The ABC 7 First Alert Hurricane Guide arms you with vital information to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit. Visit mysuncoast.com and download yours today.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, we're warmer than we were 24 hours ago, and you may not need a sweater or light jacket this morning. Like yesterday when the temperatures were in the 50s, even some low 50s, even some upper 40s. But this morning, we're hovering around the 60-degree mark most everywhere. Officially at the airport, it's 62. We have a dew point value coming in at 60. That also has risen, so there's more moisture in the air. It doesn't feel quite as crisp outside, although it's still a very pleasant morning, don't get me wrong. Temperature 62 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia at 63, 61 in Mayaca, Parrish the same, Bradenton ditto, Lakewood Ranch at 61, Punta Gorda is at 61, 62 in Northport Venice at 64, 64 degrees in Inglewood as well, and 64 at Longboat Key. So we still have this disturbance that lingers down through the Florida Straits and into the Gulf waters. That little disturbance is producing some rainfall, and the cloud cover is being carried by upper level winds across the state of Florida. Now, it's high level clouds, thin clouds. It certainly won't block out the sun, but it may give the sky a somewhat milky appearance at times. Now, as we progress through the morning, we'll mix away a lot of that cloud cover, plus high pressure continues to build in from the north, so we will watch a drop in the amount of cloud cover, I think, as we head into the afternoon. The surface moisture, on the other hand, is on the increase, and that's on the increase because of the position of this high-pressure ridge over the eastern seaboard. That's allowing for the winds to come out of the east around the underbelly of that high. That's the way the air circulates around a high-pressure ridge. And so, consequently, after a long fetch of winds over the Atlantic waters, picking up moisture, that moisture is transported across the peninsula into our neck of the woods. That's why our dew point value has risen. And that is why we'll probably, over the course of the next 3 or 4 days, probably see a few scattered showers that build along the eastern seaboard of the state of Florida, transported across the peninsula into interior sections. Along the spine of the state, Orlando will see a few showers. Maybe even interior Hardee, DeSoto, and Charlotte counties might see a few of those brief showers move on through. It's not going to be a rain out. It's going to be like a 2-minute shower, and then everything goes away, the skies clear out, and everything is fine. And locally, right along the immediate coastline of the Suncoast, I don't think those showers will make it to us. So we stay fairly dry right straight through the week ahead. Warmer today, increasing humidity over the next several days, and dry right straight through the work week. I think that's the name of the game for the next several days. Taking a look at radar across the state, most of it's quiet. Don't see too much going on this morning. A few scattered showers down in the very southern tip of the state. But other than that, everything is tame. Watch the RPM computer model forecast, put it into motion. A few passing clouds, yes, and maybe one of these 2 showers try to work their way into Hardee and DeSoto counties. But other than that, it's going to be a continuation of this beautiful weather that we have been experiencing. Now, the satellite view of the water vapor imagery shows this tan color all across the state of Florida. That's dry, mid, and upper level air. And with that in place, the 7-day forecast will reflect dry conditions through the period. Look for a northeast wind at about 5 to 10 today, boaters, moderate chop, and the forecast calling for some very pleasant conditions, I think. Low 80s right straight into the weekend and very little rain. Back to you.
All right, I hear traffic on the way. Thank you, John. There's some issues there on 301 in the northbound lane heading toward downtown Braden, otherwise pretty clear in Manatee County. Let's check farther south now. There along the bayfront, the northbound lane, you might see some slowdowns as you pass Osprey and Orange and Pineapple there, otherwise pretty clear. And our South County map showing a few slowdowns by the most active of the 3 right now. Our 3 maps in both directions on 41, also on 776 around El Jobin. Many of us are trying to lose weight after that turkey we all had last week. Experts say the trick is to find foods that fill you up without the calories. Here are some ideas now from Kim Hutcherson.
Sometimes losing weight isn't a matter of following a strict diet, but rather eating foods that work for you rather than against you. Here are some foods that offer a satisfying sense of fullness and can help keep your appetite in check. Greek yogurt is thicker, creamier, and has more protein than its regular yogurt counterparts. That protein can keep you feeling full. Avocados are packed with healthy fats and oleic acid, an omega-9 fatty acid, both of which can be helpful for controlling hunger. Red chili peppers contain capsaicin. It's the compound that gives the peppers their heat, and research suggests it may help curb hunger. Barley is a natural appetite suppressant. The grain contains a unique combination of dietary fibers that make it extra filling. Spinach is a source of thylakoids, the chlorophyll-bearing parts of green leaves. Studies have indicated that thylakoids may be helpful in reducing the amount of food we eat. And finally, flaxseed is rich in 2 natural appetite suppressants, omega-3 fats and fiber. Another tip, try having a small salad or cup of soup before meals. Both have been associated with increased fullness and decreased calorie intake. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Still ahead, your day's top local news headlines and a look at the Naval Academy's new uniforms for the upcoming Army-Navy football game after this.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Fact:
The top 3 Marriott hotels in North and South America are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, according to a recent survey of 363 Marriott hotels. The Marriott at Grand National, the Marriott Shoals Hotel, and the Grand Hotel. And 2 of the top 3 Renaissance hotels are also on the trail, Ross Bridge in Birmingham and the Battle House in Mobile. Southern hospitality still rules. For reservations or information, visit rtjgolf.com/resorts.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms, and if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars. Call Tax 10,000 at 800-817-1064.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit nationalguard.com to learn more.
Really a beautiful, peaceful time of day right now as we look out at the skyline in the Rosemary District, panning toward the south, toward the downtown area. Should be another beautiful day. If you like yesterday, you like today, although John says a little warmer, a little more humidity. He'll detail the forecast a few seconds there, but off to a good start so far. 5:53 now as you awaken on this Tuesday morning. Here are some of the top headlines on the Suncoast today. Sarasota police say a car struck a pedestrian last night and left the victim with serious injuries. It happened on US 301 at 30th near Newtown. The former child care director at the Venice YMCA is under arrest. Police say Samantha Bunting stole $17,000. We'll show you her mugshot next half hour. And construction begins today on another roundabout in downtown Sarasota. The latest one is going in at Orange and Ringling. That intersection will be closed now for several months. And finally this hour, the U.S. Naval Academy is unveiling the team's specially designed uniforms for the 118th Army-Navy football game. The uniforms honor the Blue Angels, the Navy's premier flight demonstration team. They are the same blue with yellow stripes and feature a U.S. flag on the sleeve. The midshipmen's helmets will be hand-painted and feature a 6 FA-18 Hornets in a Delta formation. The players' chrome face masks are made to look like Blue Angels pilots' visors. Army has yet to unveil their uniform design for this year's big game. It'll be played in Philadelphia on December the 9th. Hope the game lives up to the hype of the uniform so
Yeah,
far.
you're not kidding. What do you think? You like them?
Yeah, it looked good. Yeah.
So, yeah, kind of neat. Did you ever see the Blue Angels?
No.
Or
Have you?
fly with them?
Have you? No.
I have not. I've always wanted to, though. I
Yeah.
always thought that would be fun. Scott Dennis did once, but he apparently blacked out.
Oh, he did. He blacked out.
I guess so.
I'd be afraid of doing that. Yeah. The older I get, the less I wanted to do stuff like that. I always wanted to parachute. Now I'm not so sure.
Now, I take that back. Maybe he didn't black out. Maybe his video camera did.
Oh, that's better. That's even better.
It might be the video camera that blacked out. And you're only allowed to do it once in your lifetime. You're only allowed one opportunity to fly with the Angels.
Right.
So if your camera goes out, that's it. You're done.
Well, if you have an issue and don't feel well, that'll wind up on YouTube pretty fast.
Yeah, I think some of the pilots, too, they kind of take that, you know, if they get a journalist up in the plane, they kind of take that as a challenge to give them the ride of their life, as they say.
That's the last thing I need. Hey, don't forget this weekend, Saturday, is the parade on Main Street through downtown Sarasota. We'll have an ABC float there. I'll be out there, and many of our other colleagues will be there as well. So come out and see us and give a wave. We'll look for you then. Until then, we'll have more news headlines and John Scalzi's nice forecast and traffic coming up in about 2 minutes, so stay with us.